Who could be the next pope? The Catholic Church might soon welcome a new leader, and the world is watching. Today, we're diving into the secretive world of papal elections and the cardinals who could become the Church's next head. Let's break it down. After the death of Pope Francis, the Catholic Church has started a very old and sacred tradition. The cardinals, who are senior leaders in the Church, must now gather to choose a new pope. This election is a very secret process. The cardinals are not allowed to talk to the outside world while they are inside the Sistine Chapel where the voting happens. Even before Pope Francis passed away, people were already wondering who might replace him because of his age and health problems like his serious lung infection. The Vatican will hold what's called a papal conclave. This is when the College of Cardinals comes together to elect the new head of the Church. As of January 22, 2025, there are 252 cardinals, but only 138 of them are young enough to vote. They must be under 80 years old. Inside the Sistine Chapel, they vote 4 times a day. A new pope is chosen when someone gets 2/3 of the votes. Usually it takes about 15 to 20 days to complete the process. Many believe that the Holy Spirit helps guide the cardinals to pick the right person to lead the Church. Even before Pope Francis's death, several cardinals were already seen as possible future popes, also called Papabile. In 2020, Edward Pentin wrote a well-known book called The Next Pope, The Leading Cardinal Candidates, which talks about who could be chosen. However, things can change quickly. Some cardinals who were favorites before are no longer seen as strong candidates. It's important to remember that just because someone is popular doesn't mean they will be picked. A lesson from history: there's an old Italian saying, "Enter the conclave as pope and leave as a cardinal." This means that if someone is expected to win, they often don't. In fact, out of the last 6 conclaves, only Pope Benedict in 2005 was elected after being the favorite going in. Many experts think the next pope could be a compromise candidate, someone who wasn't seen as the top choice but who many cardinals agree is the best option. The world now watches and waits to see who will become the next leader of the Catholic Church. Now let's see who are the favorites. Before we start, please take a moment to hit the subscribe button and make sure to share this video. Starting at number 10 is Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle. Meet Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, a humble leader from the Philippines who could make history as the first Asian pope. At 67, he's already one of the Vatican's top officials, serving as pro-prefect for evangelization. Nicknamed Francis II for his progressive style, Tagle wants a church that's kinder to people pushed to the margins, like LGBTQ+ folks and single mums. Why is Tagle different? Back in 2015, he called out the Church's past harsh words that left LGBTQ+ people and divorced Catholics feeling branded and alone. He even led a social media campaign called the Lazarus Project to promote love and acceptance using hashtags like #ResurrectLove. Tagle believes the Church should listen more and judge less, saying, "Everyone is made in God's image, but don't get it twisted." Tagle still follows church rules. He's against abortion and same-sex marriage, calling abortion murder in 2016. He even supported Pope Francis's warnings about ideological colonization, pushing secular ideas like gay marriage. It's a balancing act, compassion for people, but no changes to doctrine. So, will the cardinals pick him? Some insiders say Tagle's more popular in the media than with fellow cardinals. They're a secretive bunch, and Tagle's progressive vibe might scare traditional voters, but his decade in Rome, fluency in 6 languages, and loyalty to Francis's vision keep him in the mix. Could he pull off a surprise win? Drop your guess below. Number 9, Cardinal Matteo Zuppi. Next up is Cardinal Matteo Zuppi. He is a 69-year-old Italian archbishop who is very close to Pope Francis. The Pope made him a cardinal in 2019. In May 2022, Zuppi was elected president of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Italy, called the CEI. He is often seen as one of Francis's favorites. and is even listed as a possible future pope. He travels around the world on the Pope's behalf. In 2023, he went on a special mission to Ukraine and met with President Volodymyr Zelensky. He later visited Washington, D.C., where he delivered a letter from Pope Francis to US President Joe Biden. These trips were meant to promote peace in Ukraine and show how much the Pope trusts him. Though critics say these trips didn't fix anything, but supporters argue Zuppi's trying to build bridges in a divided world. Zuppi's also a progressive voice. Years before becoming a cardinal, he wrote that the Church should stop shunning LGBTQ+ people. Instead, he urged dialogue and understanding to help the LGBT communities feel welcome. Like Pope Francis, he wants a church that's less judgmental but still follows traditional teachings. So, could Zuppi win? Insiders say his closeness to Francis helps, but some cardinals think he's too political. Others whisper, does he have real support or just good PR? Still, his energy and modern approach appeal to younger Catholics. Number 8. Cardinal Raymond Leo Burke. Cardinal Raymond Leo Burke is a 76-year-old American from Wisconsin. He became a cardinal in 2010, appointed by Pope Benedict XVI. Burke is known for his strong traditional views within the Catholic Church. He has held several important positions, including leading the Archdiocese of St. Louis and serving as the head of the Church's highest court, the Apostolic Signatura. Burke often speaks out against changes in the Church that he believes go against traditional teachings. He has disagreed with Pope Francis on several issues, especially about allowing divorced and remarried Catholics to receive communion. He also opposes the Church's more accepting language towards gay people, civil marriages, and contraception. In addition, Burke believes that Catholic politicians who support legal abortion should not be allowed to receive communion. He has also expressed concerns about the influence of LGBTQ+ groups within the Church. Because of his strong conservative views, Burke is popular among traditional Catholics. However, his outspoken opinions and disagreements with Pope Francis have made him a controversial figure. While some people see him as a possible future pope, others think his strict views might limit his chances. 7th, Cardinal Mario Grech. Cardinal Mario Grech is a 68-year-old born on the small island of Gozo in Malta. He is a prominent figure in the Catholic Church. He became a priest in 1984 and was appointed Bishop of Gozo in 2005. In 2020, Pope Francis made him a cardinal and appointed him as the Secretary General of the Synod of Bishops, a key role in guiding discussions about the Church's future. Initially known for his conservative views, Cardinal Grech has become a strong supporter of Pope Francis's efforts to reform the Church. He believes that the Church's teachings can grow deeper over time and that it's important to speak in ways that modern people understand. In 2014, he emphasized the need to address complex family situations and to communicate the Gospel's truth and love effectively. Cardinal Grech is also known for promoting synodality, which means encouraging open discussions within the Church. He believes that listening to different voices can help the Church stay united while respecting diversity. This approach has made him a key figure in Pope Francis's vision for a more inclusive Church. While some conservatives have criticized his views, Cardinal Grech remains committed to finding common ground. His ability to connect with both traditional and progressive members of the Church makes him a notable candidate for the papacy. Coming from a small country like Malta, his election could symbolize a fresh and unifying direction for the global Church. Number 6. Cardinal Jean-Marc Aveline. The Archbishop of Marseille is a name that has gathered traction and apparently some support. While he was not previously described as Papabile, he has emerged as a serious contender among moderates since Pope Francis's death. The 66-year-old French prelate originates from the old French Algeria colony, but spent much of his life in Marseille. The cardinal has been described as a rather liberal figure, but one inclined to consensus by the College of Cardinals report website. It makes him a candidate who could potentially reach out to the different factions. Cardinal Aveline has also regularly been portrayed in the French press as Pope Francis's favourite prelate and is said to be the most Bergoglian, in reference to Francis's surname, of France's bishops. Number 5. Cardinal Peter Turkson. Cardinal Peter Turkson of Ghana stands as a historic possibility, the first black pope in over 1,500 years. At 76, he's a veteran leader who nearly won in 2013. Now, with Catholicism booming in Africa and fading in the West, many ask, is it time for the Church's first modern African pope? Turkson is a champion for social justice. He criticizes greedy corporations and fights for the poor, calling neoliberal capitalism a danger to humanity. His work on peace and climate change has made him a global voice. Politically, he aligns with Pope Francis's push for a fairer world, a key reason his support has grown since the last conclave. But his views clash with progressives. During Africa's AIDS crisis, he opposed condoms, saying they don't solve the problem. He also firmly rejects LGBTQ+ rights, calling homosexuality against God's plan. This mix of progressive economics and strict theology divides opinions, praised by traditionalists, criticized by reformers. Turkson's rise reflects a church shifting southward. Africa's Catholics now outnumber Europe's, and many demand a leader from their continent. But his age and polarizing stances raise questions. Can he unite a divided church? Or will cardinals seek a less controversial choice? The conclave's answer will determine that. Number 4. Cardinal Peter Erdo. Next up, a key rival to Parolin, Cardinal Peter Erdo. This 72-year-old Hungarian cardinal is the leading voice for conservatives in the church. Made a cardinal by Pope John Paul II in 2003, Erdo's strict traditional views could shake up the conclave. Why is Erdo a big deal? He's famous for holding firm on old-school Catholic rules. For example, he says divorced or remarried Catholics shouldn't take Holy Communion, calling marriage unbreakable. He's also sparked debate by comparing taking in refugees to human trafficking, a comment that split opinions worldwide. But his deep devotion to Mary, Jesus' mother, makes him a hero to traditional believers. Erdo isn't just a local leader, he once headed Europe's top bishops group. Supporters see him as a bridge between the Church's past and future, but critics worry he's too rigid for modern challenges. A Vatican insider joked, if Parolin's the safe pick, Erdo's the wild card. Conservatives might rally behind him early in voting, but will he win enough support? Age could hurt Erdo. He's older than Parolin, and his bold statements scare moderates. But after Pope Francis's progressive era, some cardinals might crave a return to tradition. Will Erdo's conservative flag fly high, or will the conclave seek balance? Let us know in the comments. Number 3. Cardinal Angelo Scola. Cardinal Angelo Scola was born in 1941 in Malgrate, Italy, is a respected figure in the Catholic Church. He has held significant positions including Archbishop of Milan and Patriarch of Venice. Known for his deep theological knowledge and leadership, he was considered a strong candidate in the 2013 conclave that elected Pope Francis. At 83 years old, Cardinal Scola is one of the older candidates being considered. Some believe that if the cardinals cannot agree on a younger candidate, they might choose someone like Scola to provide steady leadership for a few years. This approach has been taken before. For example, Pope John XXIII was elected at 77 and went on to make significant changes in the Church. Cardinal Scola is known for his conservative views, especially on issues like marriage and family. He has emphasized the importance of traditional church teachings and has been cautious about making rapid changes. His experience and balanced approach make him a candidate who could guide the Church thoughtfully during a transitional period. At number 2, Cardinal Pietro Parolin. First up, the biggest name in the race, Cardinal Pietro Parolin. As the Vatican's Secretary of State since 2013, he's basically the Pope's right-hand man. At 70 years old, this Italian from Veneto isn't just powerful, he's now the frontrunner to become the next Pope. But insiders warn he's a favorite, not a guarantee. Why is Parolin so popular? He's known as calm, practical, and never extreme. Unlike politicians who pick left or right, Parolin avoids drama. Recently, he gave a bold interview about world conflicts, saying, "Peace can't come from forcing your rules on others," a clear message to world leaders. His style? Fix problems quietly, without fights. But here's the twist. Cardinals are super secretive. One insider told The Independent, "They're a weird group, they barely know each other. The media loves Parolin, but will the Cardinals agree?" The answer? Maybe. Parolin worked in the Vatican for over 10 years. He's polite, avoids enemies, and knows every rule. That makes him a safe choice for Cardinals, scared of risky picks. Still, nothing's certain. Parolin's age could help, he's young enough to lead, but the last surprise, Pope Francis, proved the Cardinals love a curveball. Will Parolin's decades of diplomacy win, or will they pick someone totally unexpected? Let us know your guess below. Lastly, in one is Cardinal Kevin Farrell. Cardinal Kevin Farrell is an Irish-born American who is playing a very important role in the Catholic Church right now. After Pope Francis died, Cardinal Farrell was the one who announced the news to the world. He is serving as the temporary head of the Church in his position as Camerlengo of the Holy Roman Church. Farrell's no stranger to power. Born in Dublin, he became a US citizen after decades working there, even leading the Dallas diocese. Pope Francis trusted him with big jobs, like overseeing Vatican finances and family policies. He's fluent in 4 languages and holds an MBA, making him a rare blend of priest and administrator. At 77 years old, Cardinal Farrell is still young enough to be chosen, but he is not really considered a top choice for the next Pope. There are many other cardinals ahead of him in the list of likely candidates. Even so, it is possible he could still be a surprise choice. Cardinal Farrell is known for having conservative views, and he has sometimes caused controversy. In 2018, he stopped Mary McAleese, the former President of Ireland, from speaking at a Vatican event. She had supported women becoming priests and same-sex marriage, which led him to block her speech. Critics called it censorship, but Farrell argued the topics clashed with church doctrines. He's also faced heat for working with disgraced Cardinal McCarrick, though he denies knowing about McCarrick's abuses. While Cardinal Farrell is respected for his leadership, his chances of becoming Pope are seen as slim. Still, in the history of the Church, surprising choices have happened before, so it is not impossible. So, who will be the next Pope? From reformers like Tagle and Zuppi to traditionalists like Sarah and Erdo, the conclave's choice will shape the Church's future. Will they pick history's first African or Asian Pope, or a steady hand like Parolin? One thing's clear, this election isn't just about faith, it's about bridging divides in a fractured world. The stakes, higher than the dome of St. Peter's. If you're hooked on this holy drama, smash that like button, share with your friends, and hit subscribe. Drop a comment with your prediction. Will the Cardinals play it safe or shock us all? Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more deep dives into the stories that shape our world.